Let me show you how I kill fire ants. And because I live in Texas, we have got the fire ants. I just found this product, and I've used many, and everybody in Texas, everybody around the South that has fire ants have used a myriad of products because well, it's probably a multi-billion-dollar industry killing fire ants. But I have found this to work as well as anything else, and it's pretty cost effective. That is called Bifin IT. It's really a termite control. It's an insecticide, termiticide, and then I just use a spray pump. Let me give you another tip. Anytime you're using an insecticide or a herbicide or whatever, sometimes the back thing will peel off, the back label will peel off. So when I get it, and after I read the directions, everything, then I will write on the back of it, or somewhere on the top of it, something in ink or in paint pen or something, how much I use. As you can see, this one is quite old. So what I'm saying is this goes a long, long way. 1 tablespoon in this particular termiticide, insecticide, it's 2 tablespoons or 1 ounce per gallon. We got a 1.5 gallon sprayer, so obviously I put about 1.5 ounces in there, and then I start spraying. Let me show you that. So what I'll do when I find an ant mound, and they're not too hard to find here on my property, I will just, especially after rain, this is we got 4 inches of rain a couple of days ago, and I have mounds where I didn't know I had ants. So this is a good way to tell. Wait till it rains, and then I usually count about 8 or 10 seconds, depends on how big the mound is. This one is about a foot in circumference, okay, if you include all the way around, but the biggest part of the mound here is only 4 or 5 inches. But I'll just do like 8 or 10 seconds, spray, and I'm not trying to coat the whole mound. All I'm doing is spraying right down the middle. I want it to soak down in the ground, and give it about 8 or 10 seconds, okay? And you can see they are not happy, as you can expect. I'll come back, I'll do another mound or two, and then I'll come back and show you the results in the next day. Here's a smaller mound, not a very large colony, and in this case typically I may only do 4, 5, 6 seconds. I may not need 8 or 10 to get through the big layer of dirt. Another one, somewhere in between the size of those two. I'm not counting because I'm talking, but I'm trying to do about 8 to 10 seconds. Now, another thing that I really like about it is I have chickens. If I scattered orthene or some other product that is good, I found it to be good, in my chicken pen, then I am going to kill my chickens. So what I do is get the tip as close as I can to the ground without them crawling up the tip, and spray it down in there. The chickens, as a general rule, don't go too close to fire ant mounds anyway, so you're not throwing anything on top that's going to kill your chickens. And believe me, some of that other stuff will absolutely kill your chickens. So this is another reason I use this liquid. I have found it to be, and I just treated those 2 mounds inside the chicken pen. Okay, inside the chicken pen, that mound, and that mound. Let's go do another one. Okay, this mound is up against some cross ties that I have for a border, and I will just spray that. And what I'm trying to do, again, is not coat the mound. I don't want to do all that. I can, and it's fun, because you know they're going to die quicker, but you're wanting to penetrate down into the ground. You're wanting your solution to penetrate down into the mound and get to enough of them, and to the queen, obviously. So this is what I have found to work real well. It's not, again, it's not labeled as a fire ant killer, but I have found it to work real well, and I'll show you the results in a day or so. Here's one right at the entrance to my barn. Trying to soak down in there, get down to the tunnels and such. Easy operation. Here I've got 3 mounds, pretty good size one, smaller one, and even smaller there. And I'll treat all 3 because they're probably not the same colony. And the reason they, as I understand it, the reason they, after a rain, bring up all this dirt is because they're emptying out their brood chambers. The water gets down in there, and they don't want their little babies to get wet. Well, I'm trying to make sure they get wet with this. And one thing I did not mention was make sure you keep your sprayer pumped up, because as you're spraying, if your sprayer the pressure's starting to deplete, and you're doing 8 seconds a mound or 10 seconds a mound or whatever, then you're not going to be giving that much to the last mound that you do if the pressure in your tank here has gone down some. That was a big mound. I probably gave it 12 seconds or 10 or 12, 15, and she probably needed it. There's another one. Again, I didn't even know I had fire ants in these particular places, but a good rain will sure let you know. And if you're up north or somewhere and don't have fire ants, you are blessed, because these things will hurt you. Just a few days ago here in Texas, a young man, a young boy, was killed. I think he was 12, 13, killed by fire ants. He didn't even know he had an allergy to them, or his parents, whatever. As I understand it, he had never had a history of an allergy to them. So they can be not just a pain in the butt, but they can be deadly. Another thing, if you, like me, have a lot of area to cover, this is a good way, because you're going to miss a few mounds as you walk through probably, and this is a good way also to tell the fact that you have carved out it looks like a little volcano when you're through, okay? Because you've honed out a top in the mound. So that's another good way. As you walk through, you can see some that you missed, and then some that you questioned, did I get that or not? That's a good way to tell. Okay, most of my solution's gone. I've got a few more mounds probably I can hit, so I'm gonna finish up, but let me just say that I will put a link below to the Bifin IT. It's not easy to find. I don't think you're gonna find this in your big box stores. I may be wrong, but I'll put a link below the video so you can get you some of this. This is good stuff. And again, be back later with the results. Okay, it's 3 days later. I came out here 24 hours later and stirred them and saw a few ants. So I decided to wait till the next day, and then we had company come over yesterday. Couldn't do it yesterday, so it's 3 days later. And let me just show you. Stir them up. It's one of the mounds I hit. Only way you can tell is to put it against a flat surface. I do not see one ant. Not one ant. They would be all over that paper. Okay? Let's go look at another one. Here's that mound that was up against that cross tie. Stir it up. Absolutely nothing. The reason I'm putting the paper down there so you can see the ant. No ants. Let's look at another one. Here's another one. This is a smaller mound. No ants. 0 ants. Alright, now let me show you something. Here's another one. You can tell this is the one I sprayed because it's got the hole here where I caved it in when I was spraying. Okay? 0 ants. No ants. Okay, here's a mound that I did treat. You can see the cavity where I sprayed it, but I didn't spray it quite enough. It is a huge mound. It is probably from, you know, end to end. Well, there's a sheet of paper. That'll give you an idea how big that thing is. It's 16 inches wide, probably, and 16 inches diameter, probably. But I didn't spray it quite enough because it does have ants. Okay. So, moral of the story is, on the bigger mounds, spray a little bit longer. I probably gave this about 8 to 10 seconds worth, and that's the only way I can tell you how to judge it, is just in seconds. But I would say on the bigger the mound, there's some that I did only did 6 seconds, and smaller mounds that I did for 6 seconds, and they're dead. So, but this mound is not. So, the bigger the mound, the longer you need to spray. That's the moral of the story here. But get you some Bifin IT. I really think it's the way I'm going now. I've used the Orthene fire ant killer. I've used the generic brand of the Orthene, and that stuff. I mean, it'll knock out a mound, but a can is about $15 to $20 depending on where you buy it, and it is very noxious. If the wind blows it back up in your face, I mean, it'll make you sick. It's really strong stuff. Not saying it doesn't work, but for me, a $15, $20 can goes around my couple. I got a couple of acres that I try to keep under control here, and it goes around it about one time. You're supposed to put a tablespoon per mound, and you know, with this Bifin is you put a tablespoon or 1 ounce per gallon, 2 tablespoons per gallon. And it just goes, to me, it just goes a lot further. It costs a little more for the bottle, but it goes a lot further. So this is my successful. This particular mound is not a success because I didn't spray it long enough. But you can see that the rest of the mounds were dead. So that's what you want. A good fire ant is a dead fire ant. So this is how to kill fire ants. Bifin IT, Texas Prepper 2. We're gone.